Greetings and salutations everybody, this is obviously Sugi JRPG here with a brand new review, this time talking about Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, which I was supposed to review before the launch of 100 Heroes, but hey, better late than never, and a lot of people might have a lot of questions revolving around this game. Should I play it before playing 100 Heroes? Is this worth the money? And etc. So let's get started by answering those questions. So first of all, this is a prequel story to 100 Heroes. It focuses around side characters, not the main characters, in the 100 Heroes story. And it revolves around mostly in one town, so it's a very isolated type of a story. And it's more so about kind of like doing a bit of world building for Eiyuden Chronicle and introducing a lot of the side characters, which will be playable on 100 Heroes. So it's not really like here to tell you this massive story. It's a very slice of life, you know, doing types of weird errands on the town, and all of this is kind of like filler-esque content in my opinion. And in terms of like grand scheme of things, there's not really like major plot twists that are being unraveled in this story. And yes, there is some good world building. It kind of explained a bit about the lenses and the Runebarrows and a bit about the world and its races, but not like in super high detail. I think a lot of that is going to be happening on the main game itself, which I have played a bit. I haven't still completed 100 Heroes. So yes, you do not need to play this game before playing 100 Heroes. And let's kind of like assess, you know, we already kind of flushed out a lot of the story. So there's basically three major characters here. We got ZJ, Karu, and Isha. You will be starting with CJ, and throughout the game you're going to be unlocking the other two. And this is like, it's not even an action JRPG game. It's kind of like, you know, I kind of was thinking about, is this even the wheelhouse of the channel really? Because it's not really that much of an RPG. I mean, there are item systems, equipment systems, there are levels. There are definitely RPG elements here, but it's really like loose on that sense to call it an RPG in my opinion, or a JRPG for that matter. But yes, the combat is really very reminiscent of these kind of like early 90s side-scroller games. It's not a Metroidvania. It might look like a bit like that, but it's definitely not. And there's a bit of platforming, although not very great. And what needs to be understood here is that, yes, this is the same IP, but this is done by a different studio. This is not done by the studio that's behind 100 Heroes. This was done by Natsume Atari, which have done some other like indie-style games. So this is definitely like, even if whatever you like this game or hated this game, it has no correlation on the quality of 100 Heroes. These are definitely like very separated game titles, and I don't think there was that much even overlap between the studios working on these two titles. So that's something that you need to understand here. So whatever I'm going to give you the good or bad review has no correlation on the quality of 100 Heroes. So what are the other aspects that I should probably cover in this game? So let's talk about the combat. So the combat actually is kind of very, very simple in the beginning. You have jump, and then you have one attack button, and then you learn to basically do double jump, and then you can like do chain combos. And as you unlock more characters, they have different types of abilities, and you can swap around these on real time on basically on the battle, and that's how you basically do these more chained up attacks. Now, I have to be completely honest with you, the combat doesn't feel very intuitive. It does feel actually a lot more lower quality than some other titles that were released in the late 90s. Yes, this game probably didn't have a massive budget out of the Kickstarter stuff that they basically got, but like fundamentally, the combat is not that amazing. I think the customization aspects about like getting your weapon upgrades and stuff like that doesn't feel like giving you a much of a gameplay boost, and it's just, I don't like the gameplay loop in this game. Like, there are different types of monster types which you will have to fight a bit differently, but it's mostly just smashing your buttons and you're just using potions at the right time, and that's basically it. So it's not really that amazing of a combat. Like, I was maybe going into it like feeling like this could be something like Tales or something more of a high quality product, but it doesn't feel amazing combat system. I gotta be completely very honest with you, and that's probably one of the reasons I wasn't really enjoying my time that much after a while, especially when the difficulty creeps up a bit more. It becomes a bit annoying to do, because grinding in this game, I mean, the way that you get experience most is just doing these side quests, which I already kind of alluded that they are kind of mundane in terms of the storyline, just like helping random villagers in the town and like bringing them stuff, and then talking to this one, then going back to talking to this guy, and it's just like back and forth stuff, and it's just like totally just there to make the game feel longer. This is only a 12-hour game if you're going to be skipping the dialogues, which I did most of the time with these side quests. It's probably going to be around 10 hours, depending on how focused you are going to be on the story, because the story is not very great at all. And, you know, as I already kind of said, it revolves around the story, and I think the best part is just kind of learning a bit more about the characters. And I think there's maybe 15, 20 characters which are playable on the main game, on the 100 Heroes, so that's a good thing. And also, by playing this game and having a save file, you're actually going to be getting some extra items on 100 Heroes. So that's actually a pretty cool thing that they did here. And we're kind of seeing a lot more of that, you know, happening with these, you know, saved games being, you know, from demos are being, you know, transferred into the main game. A lot of cool stuff like that. And I'm really, really happy that they have been doing these types of evolution in terms of gaming. One of the things I also didn't like was the whole audio and sound design in this game. So the OST is a lot weaker than it is in 100 Heroes, like totally different level. There's nothing really good to say about the OST. I'm not like totally ripping my ears off, but it's like so mundanely bad. It's just not vibing me at all. And in the 100 Heroes, you do have voice acting. There's no voice acting in this one. I think it would have done a lot more better in terms of the story, would have been more engaging if we had actual voice actors here and bringing the characters more alive. I can't really go back into into this like kid from the 90s who plays these games without audio dialogue. It's just not doing the trick for me. I don't really expect new JRPGs to have 100% voice acted game, but when it comes to main dialogue, non-side mission stuff, I want voice acting, and this is kind of like where I'm at right now. Obviously, in the 90s, when I first played FF7, 9, and etc., it didn't bother me then, but once you have gone used to the voice acting, you don't want to go back. And even if it's like bad voice acting, I kind of take that over no acting whatsoever. So, because the text can only bring a character to life to only so much extent, especially with these sprite tiles graphics where you're not able to see like a full facial expression. Visually, I do like the game, 2.5D style. We have a lot of 3D backgrounds, and then the characters are like 2D sprites. And this is kind of the same with 100 Heroes. There are a lot of visual differences between the two, but they're mostly respective of one similar like core design here, which is good, so the games don't look wildly different from each other, but they do play very differently from each other. And I do think that 100 Heroes does look like a bit better and has a better flow in its combat, at least compared to Rising. And what else did we have cover? And yeah, there's like obviously some activities like fishing and things like that, not exactly like very depth mini games or anything. There's a new game plus. Once you complete the game, you get to unlock a lot of stuff. There's a lot of crafting things and items, but it's like a lot of these. Sometimes you have JRPG games where the customization systems, enchanting, smithing, equipping, crafting, don't feel very intuitive and engaging, and you just don't want to deal with them because you don't feel the impact, and it doesn't like feel like very customizable, and you're not clearly changing out your strategy. And that's how I really felt about a lot of these obtainable items inside the game. I just didn't really want to engage with it because I think it wasn't like really that well designed. And then kind of closing up my thoughts about this game, I mean, it is only $15, and you probably can get it on discounts for a lower price, but it's only 10 hours of game, and it's not like a real prequel. We're not talking about Star Wars prequel episodes here. This is like a very filler-esque story. And yeah, I think they like the whole thing about like building out the town, you get to upgrade it. That has its appeal, but it's not the best one I've seen. I've seen other JRPG games which have done a lot better job about this, like Skies of Arcadia or Tales of Symphonia, for example. And so I wasn't really happy with the execution here. It had core potential, but I felt like they just wanted to do some side game here. Maybe they just brainstormed something on the developer thing and they just like, okay, we got some extra money, let's do a cheap mini game and just try to sell it. And that's how I feel about this game. I see very high ratings for this game, and honestly, I don't think it's really worth the money or the time. But then again, if you're really into this type of genre of games, maybe you're gonna look past like you know, the combat defaults and the uncomplexity of the situation. But fundamentally, and also think that maybe they should have maybe focused on different main characters. There are a couple of, I don't know how many of the characters we're gonna be seeing here are gonna be end up on the main game, but yeah. But that's basically what I have to say. I thought I would be presenting my own opinion. If you would be getting it on discount, like less than 10 euros, maybe then it's a good bang for the buck. But fundamentally, I didn't find the combat very nice. I didn't find the story great. I'm just basically just played it to kind of get a bit more understanding of the Eiyuden Chronicle world building, and that's kind of what I'm always interested at, so maybe gives you a bit of a, like an insight into things. And there's, by the way, an after credits scene also, but the whole ending is kind of random too, and that wasn't really well executed, even though this is kind of like a spin-off title. But hey, that's basically what I have to say. Leave me your thoughts about how long did you play Rising, or are you gonna be buying it? And let me know in the comment section below, and I will be seeing you in the next video when it will be dropping out. Cheers.